Uh, yes. So welcome to first of all, welcome to Sthapatya Samvad. Sthapatya Samvad is an initiative to begin a discussion on cultural heritage of India by taking it beyond its material aspect to the philosophical, to the cultural, to the political, social aspects that there are many aspects to our heritage, and we conduct various sessions like this one virtual heritage walk, and we also conduct physical heritage walk around Mumbai, and art workshops to to you know um, um, to explain the idea of sthapatya samvad. So today, of course, we are going to Hampi virtually, and it's a coincidental that today is the Ashadi Ekadashi. If you are from Maharashtra, you might be aware that today the Varkaris, the pilgrims of Maharashtra, reaches to the Lord Vitthala's temple at Pandharpura. Okay, and there are very few, rare temples dedicated to Lord Vithala. So one is of course at Pandharpura, and the second is at Hampi that we will visit in today's walk. So before we start, I think it's if you can turn on your videos, it will be helpful so that our session will look very interactive. You can ask questions in between. But if you are facing any internet issue, then you can turn it off. But we will recommend it to keep your videos on. Can you all see my screen?
Yes, it is visible.
Okay. Uh,
Yes, visible, sir.
okay. Okay. So before we start our virtual heritage walk at Hampi, let's first understand the history of the particular place. Who were the kings? Which was the empire? Of course, we all have the idea about the Vijayangara Empire, but in today's walk, we wanted to tell you the stories of Vijayanagara Empire. Okay, so when I say the story, okay, it necessarily it need not to be based on the facts, historical facts. Okay, because stories has a greater purpose. Okay, stories are the we can say the metaphor for truth. Okay, so today we are trying to understand the truth of Vijayanagara Empire through the various stories associated with them. So first of all, I will give you some idea about the 14th century, what actually happening on India, so that you will get the idea ki from which background Haryana and Bukka, the founders of the Vijayanagar Empire, are coming. Okay, and why their rise is so much important in the political history of India. So in 14th century, if you all must have known, the Delhi Sultanates were one of the powerful, political force existed in India back in time, and under the reign of Khilji, okay, and his commander Malik Kafur, Delhi Sultanate has penetrated deep into the South India. Okay, and they have reached up to the Varangal, and they have destroyed all the cultural and architectural developments of that period, and looted the South India, and one of the most important king, the Prataparudra from Varangal, was defeated. So in this mess, we can say there are two brothers who were fighting for the cause to establish the rule which will be based on the principles and ideals that they believe in. Okay. So yes, Haryana and Bukka are the founders of Vijayanagara Empire. So there is one interesting story. Okay, how this Vijayanagara Empire, was founded. So can you all see the picture?
Yes.
Okay. So this is a picture from the entrance of Krishna temple at the Hampi. I took this picture particularly. This particular picture, of course, I took this. And what do you see? Can anybody tell me what do you see in the picture?
Monkey,
Yes. Any,
monkey.
yes, yes. Anybody else? Okay, so I'll narrow it down for you. You
Monkey.
all are you all seeing two animals?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Can you tell me what unusual do you think is it kind of unusual scenario, unusual scene?
Monkey and one small animal fighting.
Okay. Do you has anybody found it unusual? कुछ unnatural लगा आपको इसमें?
Mm,
Anybody?
Size of the monkey.
Okay.
cat
The
and
bigger
one.
monkey has very sharp teeth, I think.
Okay. No, it's very simple. It's not that tough. Don't look into the details. You all must have seen the videos in the National Geographic, the Animal Planet. Okay. So have you ever found? Okay, sorry. How do you have seen the videos? The small animal is running. Okay, and who is on the behind is a large animal. ओके मतलब बड़ा व्हाट से प्राणी छोटा प्राणी का पीछे भाग रहा है ओके इज दिस द नेचुरल राइट बड़ा बड़ा बिग एनिमल शिकार करता है छोटा एनिमल का ओके बट हियर यू कैन सी द स्मॉल एनिमल इज फाइटिंग बैक एट द बिग एनिमल you don't see this in nature right am I right
Yes. Right. 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 Right.
yeah the small animal always run to save his life okay but you can see
Yes.
a
Yes.
small
Sir.
animal is fighting back is looking straight into the eyes of the big animal am I
Yes.
right
Sir.
can
Right.
you all see it
Right. Right.
are you all following me
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
yes so this is the we can say the founding story of Vijayangara empire so once Harihara and Bukka, the two brothers, they were wandering in this region, and they will say they had a dream. Let's say, okay, or unusual sight. There are two different versions of the story. Let's go with the dream. Okay, they had a dream that the hare that which can be said as a rabbit. Okay, the rabbit is following the hound. ओके मतलब एक ये जो रैबिट है वह हाउंड का पीछा कर रहा है दिस इज अ अननेचुरल दिस इज द रिवर्स ऑफ नेचुरल ऑर्डर ओके so they were very confused कि how could this be possible how animal hare like a small animal like a hare can go on hunting the hound okay so they were like what could be the meaning of this so so they went into the jungles and there they found one guru okay the sage Vidyaranya and to them they asked that sage what is the meaning of this sight that we have seen that the small animal is hunting the big animal okay so at this point Guru Vidyaranya tells them the story of Vijayanagara sorry the story of Ramayana okay so if you all have known ki the Hampi place is actually the Kishkinda kingdom from the Ramayana okay where the Vali and Sugriva used to live okay and in the forest there was a sage named Matanga if anybody has been to Hampi might have noted that there is one hill named Matanga okay so the Matanga was a rishi so this place was where the Matanga was doing his meditation. At one point, the Wali, disturbed his meditation. Okay, so the Matanga cursed this Wali. Okay, that your all power will be diminished whenever if you reach at this point. Okay, and at this point, the strong person will be weak, and the weak person will be strong. Okay, so that was the curse of the Matanga Rishi to given to this particular region Okay, so Vidyaranya narrates this Matanga's curse to Hariyara and Bukka, and he tells them, and this story is very much related to the political scenario of that period. Okay, Hariyar and Bukka were very kind of, we can say, very weak people. They didn't have any military. They were politically very small in compared to Delhi sultanates, who were as big as hound. And here you can see the Hariyar and Bukka are like a hare. Okay, so they found some comfort. Okay, this is the region where we can be strong and where we can defeat the stronger enemy. Okay, and by getting inspired by this story, they decided, let's build a kingdom here. Okay, and so while they were deciding this, they wanted to pay homage to the sage rishi who told them this story and inspired them, and tell them, "Okay, let's call this region as a Vidyanagara." So to which we with Rishi Vidyaranya replies, okay, because he is Rishi, he is spiritual being, he directly understand, don't name it after a mere mortal. This city should be called Vijayangara, the city of victory. And then starts the story of Vijayanagara. And then all the latter glories and the opulence that we know about the Vijayanagara starts from here. And now the Aarti will tell you about the architectural details. Yes, Aarti. I'll stop sharing.
Am I audible?
Yes.
So, we'll be covering the architectures of basically architectural development which happened in this period. So, when we focus on the architectural style of Vijayanagar Empire, there are different types of architecture. For example, you will find temple architecture. You will find some architecture which was directly patronized by the court itself. For example, you will find palace, tanks. So, for this particular session, we will be focusing on temple architecture only because there are so many stories connected to that architecture. You will be able to realize that that architecture is the symbol of glory, but it also narrates the story of the destruction of Vijayanagar Empire. So, uh, for the virtual work, you need to check that book, that guidebook which I have provided you. It will help you while that virtual work actually. It will be visible on the screen also, so no need to worry if you're connected with the phone itself. Uh, just wait for a while, I need to share. Just let me know if the screen is visible. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
At
Visible.
one
Visible.
side, at one side you can see that guidebook which I have provided you, and at the other side, on the right side, there is this map, right? My audio will be audible to you, okay, during this presentation, because otherwise it will use the network. Okay, I hope it is clear now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So first of all, we need to understand the architecture, temple architecture, how it evolved in India. So a small overview on the temple architecture. Uh, See, there was mostly the ancient architecture was inspired or was under the influence of one of the most popular philosophies which flourished in that period. That is Buddhism. Right. You see so many examples of architecture which is inspired from Buddhism. For example, there are stupas, Sanchi stupa, or cave architecture. You can see Ajanta caves. Then there are some caves in Ellora as well, which were under the influence of Buddhism, obviously. But when we come to this period of Gupta dynasty particularly, Buddhism and Jainism, this philosophy, they started declining, and Hinduism became quite popular at that time because of Lord Krishna, one of the incarnations of Lord Vishnu, and this led to the development of Hindu temple architecture. So, on the screen, you can see some of the earliest temples under which were obviously built under the patronization of Gupta Empire, Gupta king. And these temples are earliest examples where you can see uh, central sanctum, which is known as Garbha Griha, and in front of it there is a porch area, colonnaded area, which is known as Mandapa. And this temple architecture evolved in a very slow pace. They also added this towering structure on this architecture, which is known as the Shikhara. And this temple architecture not only evolved in north, but it also evolved in south. And this led to two different styles of temple architecture. One in north, obviously, which is known as Nagara style, and the second one is Dravidian, which got evolved in south. So today we'll be seeing some of the examples of Dravidian style of temple architecture. Now, one thing which is quite different about the architectural styles which we see in Nagar and Dravidian is that mostly the temples in Nagar style or the temples which we find in central India or North India are they were meant for devotion. They were spiritual in nature, for example. But even the temples in south were spiritual. They were used as worship place only. But temples in south were also the symbol of the glory and wealth of the rulers. So rulers used to make these temples magnificent because through these temples, through the architecture, through the styles, they were trying to showcase their wealth, their power. So obviously, if these temples are symbol of wealth and power, they need to protect them as well. Because obviously, if there is some other kingdom, the ruler of that kingdom will try to destroy or will try to attack on the temple only of any other kingdom to destroy obviously to symbolize the commemoration of the victory over that kingdom. He will that king will try to destroy that temple. So protection of the temple was very much important. And that is why Dravidian style of temples have boundaries around them, which is not generally found in Nagar style of temples. You will find walls around these temples along with big gateways, which are known as gopurams. Gopurams. Obviously, today when we visit some of the temples under Vijayangara Empire, which were patronized under this particular empire, you will find these elements in those temples as well. So let's begin our journey from Vijay Vithala Temple. We'll be visiting Vijay Vithala Temple first, and here you can see map. Okay. So this is the temple premises. I think we need to walk a little bit more to reach to that temple. Vijay Vithala Temple. Okay. So one thing which you can see is this road leading to this temple. It is completely in ruined state. What are these pillars? Actually, this road was once the location of some marketplace, and that market was known as Vithala Bazaar. And this Vithala Bazaar was very popular for horse trading. Now, ruins are only left. Ruins of the market can be seen on both sides of the road, as you can see. Okay. So this is the entrance gate of Vijayangara temple. Basically, according to our guidebook, we are here in front of this Gopura. Gopuram is the gateway, is the entrance gate to this temple premise. Okay, and as we know that the South Indian temples were the symbol of glory and wealth of the ruler who sanctioned these temples, who patronized these temples. That is why these Gopurams were built in magnificent style. They were very big in size. Let's move further. Okay. I want all of you to focus on the walls of this Gopuram. First of all, there are three Gopurams. Obviously, the first one, which is visible to us in front of us, and rest of the twos are on the north and southern walls, as you can see in this picture as well. Here, and the second one is here. Now, if we focus on the walls of this Gopuram, if we have a closer look, we can see that there is no use of mortar or any sort of cementing agent to stick to cement these bricks together. If we focus on these walls, the interesting fact is that in the architecture, in the structures and buildings of Hampi, these walls or whatever you see in Hampi, there was no use of any cementing agent. They were constructed by wedging the stones together in interlocking pattern. This way. You can easily see this in the guidebook as well. This is how the two stones were interlocked and then wedged. Even we can find some of the wedging strips also. Are they visible to you?
Yes, madam.
Yes.
There is no cementing agent. These wedging strips and these stones are interlocked. You can actually see some wedging marks here as well, right? This is the Gopuram of the gateway. Now, what else can we see on this Gopuram? We can see some sculptures on it. There are Dwarpals. Dwarpals are basically gatekeepers, which are very common on the entrance gate of temples or Gopurams. And we can also see Surasundaris, dancing female figurines. Along with that, you will also find sculpture of Lord Vishnu. Just have a look on in your guidebook. You will be able to see much clearly. Here. You can see Lord Vishnu. So this Gopuram is adorned with these sculptures. Use of red sandstone as well as locally available granite is very much visible. Finally, we are inside this temple premises. We are on the spot number 2. Gopuram. Actually, this Gopuram was 5-storied, but now the upper portion of this Gopuram have completely destroyed. And in the upcoming discussion, you will get to know that why this happened. As I said that this architecture is symbol of victory, but this architecture also narrates the destruction of the Vijayangara Empire. Now, the first and foremost thing which is visible from this spot 2 is the chariot, the very popular stone chariot. And on the right side, you can see Utsava Mandap. Utsava Mandap was basically used for festivals. And on the left side, you can see Kalyan Mandap. We will visit all of them one by one. But first of all, let's see this popular stone chariot, which is also visible on the Indian currency, 50 rupee note. I hope you all have noticed it. Okay. Let me show you some pictures of some earlier pictures of this chariot. Let's move little behind. Okay, now. So this is the original picture of this chariot. There was this towering structure on it, and it was removed in 1940. According to the studies, this structure was quite heavy, and its pressure was something which would have led to further destruction of rest of the structure. So Archaeological Survey of India removed it, and now today this is how the stone chariot looks like. So there are 4 wheels to the stone chariot. Interestingly, the wheels of the stone chariot are said to be once functional. Locals, you can hear stories from locals residing nearby that these wheels were functional and could be rotated as well. But some years back, Archaeological Survey of India cemented them so that uh, to obviously avoid extra or unnecessary intervention of human in this architecture, in order to avoid causing damage to it, obviously. What else we can notice is that this chariot is built on a rectangular platform, and from this spot we'll be able to see that on this rectangular platform there are some uh, this mythical war scenes engraved on this base. You can see some figures with swords and shields in their hands. This stone chariot, if we talk about, particularly if we talk about this temple, Vijay Vithala temple was constructed by Devaraya II of Vijayangara Empire from Sangam dynasty. But specifically this chariot, this stone chariot, was built during 16th century by King Krishnadevaraya, who actually got inspired from the chariot of Konark Sun Temple. Actually, the ruler Krishnadevaraya was involved in battle with Gajapati. So when he defeated Gajapatis, when he visited Odisha multiple times to attack on Gajapatis, he found that temple, Sun Temple, Konark Sun Temple, very much magnificent and beautiful. So he got inspired and then he installed this chariot. So this chariot is of much later time as compared to the rest of the structure, which is visible nearby. And what else? Obviously, the most attractive part of this chariot is that it looks to be of one solid structure. It seems to be monolithic, but actually it is made up of granite slabs connected by some hidden links. Obviously, those wedging strips which are not visible from outside, but they are very much there inside. And in front of this chariot, you can see 2 elephants, but we can actually say that these elephants were added later because the tail and the leg of horses are very much clearly visible. So it seems that the elephants were added in later stage after the completion of this chariot. Originally, 2 horses were carved in that position. Runes are visible. Now, the most interesting part is that this chariot, it is actually a shrine of Garuda. As per Hindu mythology, Garud is the carrier or the Vahan of Lord Vishnu, and Vithala is the manifestation or one of the forms of Lord Vishnu only. So this chariot once enshrined Garud sculpture in it, which is not visible or which is not available now. Even the ruins of these stairways, these were used by priests to enter into the inner sanctum to worship Garud. Garud is actually king of eagles, you can say, Vahan of Lord Vishnu. And in general, when we talk about temple architecture, we always find Vahans in front of the main shrine of that particular deity. For example, that temple is dedicated to Lord Shiva. You will find a Nandi sculpture in front of that main shrine. So similarly, uh, in front of this Garuda shrine, you can see the main temple, Vijay Vithala temple. So quite interesting that this Ratha acts like a shrine for Garud. Garud was worshipped. Along with that, it is in front of the main temple, main shrine, which we can reach through these mandapas. So now we are here on the spot 3, and what you can see in front of us is Maha Mandapa. This Maha Mandapa is also known as Ranga Mandapa. Now, why Ranga Mandapa? You will get to know after a while, obviously. Now, again, this Maha Mandapa is on this base, and we can see that this base is ornamented with carvings of horses and elephants. And even we can see these small little shrines of Lord Vishnu in the base itself. This is something which is visible on both sides. Small little shrines. Completely destroyed. So this is the inner sanctum of this Maha Mandapa or Ranga Mandapa. And now what we find here are two very important sculptures in repetitive manner actually. And the first one is the sculpture of Yali. This is Yali. Have a closer look. Yali sculpture. Now, Yali is a mythical animal actually, with a head of lion and with a tusk of an elephant, Gaja, and a tail of a serpent. So sometimes they have been shown standing on the back of Makara. You can see Makar over here as well. Another mythical creature. You would have heard about, for example, you would have heard about goddess Ganga Yamuna. Goddess Makar is Vahan of goddess Ganga and Yamuna, and sometimes this mythical creature Yali also stands on this Makara mythical creature. It is symbolic in nature actually. It symbolizes, it represents man's struggle with the elemental forces of nature. You can see a man riding on Yali. He is not actually riding, he is trying to control Yali. So this Yali symbolizes elemental forces of nature, and this complete structure, this complete carving shows the man's struggle with these forces of nature. And interestingly, in medieval India and particularly in South India, Yalis are quite common. In this Maha Mandap or Rang Mandap, you will find Yalis everywhere actually. You can see Yali over here and even on the upper part of it. Symbolic. As temple architecture or any Indian architecture is very much symbolic and suggestive in nature. So every bit of this architecture is suggestive, symbolic. It symbolizes, it suggests some idea. Even one more thing that if we if we see the architecture which got developed in Europe or in the Western countries, and particularly in France, you will find gorbels. Gorbels are mythical animals, which you will find mostly carved on church. And the idea behind those gorbels were these gorbels, they ward off evil spirits. They protect that church. So similarly, these yalis do that same thing. They are very similar to gorbels. They ward off evil spirits. They protect the visitors of this temple. They protect this temple and the path leading to that central sanctum, where the deity, where the sculpture of that deity is being installed. So this is a Maha Mandap or a Ranga Mandap. Not only this, even you can see musicians and dancers carved on these pillars. Let's move to the eastern side. And here you will find these sculptures of Narsimha. Now Narsimha again is one of the incarnations of Lord Vishnu only. And here, okay. Now this particular sculpture is quite interesting. This is the sculpture of Lord Narsimha. And the picture which I have provided in the guidebook is just for your reference. The sculpture is not found in Vijayangara temple. It is just for the reference purpose only. So this is Narsimha Dev. You can see Narsimha sculpture. And the boy worshipping Narsimha is Prahlad. I hope you have heard the story of Prahlad and Narsimha. Prahlad was one of the ardent worshippers of Lord Vishnu, but his father Hiranyakashipu was not ready to accept this reality that God actually exists. And then Narsimha finally, by killing Hiranyakashipu, he established this idea of existence of that ultimate eternal divine energy. So, yes, this is Maha Mandap of Vijayangara. This Maha Mandap is actually having 3 entrance gates. And one of the most interesting element of this Maha Mandap is this. These are musical pillars. This one of the most outstanding components of Vijayangara temple. Musical pillars. This hall is also known as the hall of musical pillars. There are total 56 musical pillars carved out of huge single piece of resonant stone. And what you can see is there is one main pillar which is actually connected with the roof or roof of this mandapa as well. And there are cluster of pillars encircling that main pillar. These cluster of pillars are actually totally 7 in number, and they are also known as Saregama pillars. So let's see why these pillars are known as musical pillars. So Sandesh, can you just help us with the video, please?
Yes. Yeah. Can you see the picture?
Yes.
Yes. देखिए सब ये सारी गामा पत्नी सा बोल के इसका नाम था, इसका नाम हालो नहीं.
Is it audible?
Yes.
ये सॉलिड स्टोन है. ये वेट के ऊपर, कटिंग के ऊपर, लेंथ के ऊपर, डायमीटर्स के ऊपर अलग आवाज. ये पहला संगीत सारी गामा पत्नी सा बोल. इसको कंप्लीट इसमें 56 फिलर्स है. 50 + 6 था. हम सब बजाते हुए तो बीच में डांस करने के लिए यार ये हर फिलर्स अलग अलग टाइप होता सब कटिंग लेंथ में, इसलिए आवाज अलग नहीं थी. इसको बोलते हैं पंच ताल बोल के. ये ताल की आवाज है. हैं जलतरंगनी बोलने मतलब छोटे से कप के अंदर हम पानी डाल के बजाते हैं, वही आवाज जलतरंग की आवाज बोलते हैं। सुनिए सर, इधर बताता हूँ। चंडे बोलने मतलब ए फिगर चंडे का दिखा रहा, ये केरला में कैसा बजता वही माफक चंडे का आवाज आती है इसमें। दो भी एक ही टाइम बजा के बताता हूँ।
So yeah, I hope you all have enjoyed the music, and if you ever visited Hampi now, but this side, the Kalyan Mandapa where the musical pillars are there, we cannot enter nowadays because ASI has banned people from entering because people were causing. How people are irresponsible in handling such a valuable heritage. So unfortunately, we can't go and play the music. But here is one of the rarest video of these pillars you can find on YouTube as well. So yeah, the science behind this is not yet well researched. They say it's built of granite, and granite makes some noise, and the various tones or the musics they achieved by I guess some diameters. Okay, at particular diameter and in particular with particular space, it gives particular sound. Okay, that just the current research on it, but not researchers haven't understood the entire full science behind how exactly they are producing so many varied music from these pillars. So yeah.
Even Britishers took some of the pillars with them to check what's inside these pillars. They thought that it is hollow from inside, but they didn't found anything. So it's quite mysterious as well. And according to some scientists, there is some uh, proportion of silica in granite, which is actually causing this melodious sound. So it's quite interesting, but now we can only see these rare videos. We cannot touch those pillars and tap them.
Yes, Arti, you can go ahead.
Yes.
Arti, you are not on. You are on mute.
Audible?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, okay, let me repeat it again. The point is we are moving towards the spot number 7. yes, we were able to, obviously, we were able to enter in the Mahamandap portion of this temple, but we cannot visit the Garbhagriha or the central sanctum of this. But we can see it from outside. The Vimana of this Garbhagriha is visible from outside. It looks something like this, obviously adorned with beautiful carvings and sculptures again. Uh, in Nagar style of temple architecture, the towering structure on the Garbhagriha is known as Shikhara, but in south it is known as Vimana. It is little different from what we see in Nagar style of temple architecture. For example, Vimans, this Viman structure, it doesn't curves while moving upward. It rises. It rises with a steep slope. So it's little different. The structural style is little different. Now, one more thing. The point is that firstly, we cannot enter in the Garbhagriha part, and Garbhagriha itself is empty. The idol of the deity is missing. Obviously, there was the sculpture of Lord Vithala, but it is missing right now. On the gopurams and on the outer walls, carvings are found, which gives a small idea how the idol or the sculpture of Lord Vithala must have looked. Carvings of gods and goddesses as well as Vithala. Even it is visible on the Viman as well. So this is the main shrine of Vijay Vithala temple. Now, if we look into the map, what you can see is we can see some other structures as well. For example, this one. As we are on the spot number 7, we can see it here. This is Amman Shrine. Now, what are Amman shrines? Shrines which are dedicated to female divinities. And it was actually not very common to include Amman shrines in the temple premises of major deities, but this was something which was introduced by Vijayangara Empire only. For example, if you see some of the temple architecture of earlier dynasties, for example, temple architecture or some of the temples patronized under Pandyas or Pallavas, you will not find Amman shrines or these separate small shrines dedicated to female deities. This was a unique element or something new which was added during Vijayanagar period. Let's move towards spot number 8. Here we are. This is the back of the Garbhagriha. You can see niches which were used for oil lamps, and the Viman is again visible from this side as well. So from spot number 8, when we move towards spot number 9, the spot number 9 is 100 pillared Sabha Mandapa. It actually have 108 pillars in total, but it is popularly known as 100 pillar Sabha Mandapa, which was used for public gatherings. And even the pillars in this particular structure are also adorned with Yali sculptures, which are visible along with Gandharvas. Gandharvas are small drafts holding drums and other musical instruments, dancing. And these are very common carvings in South Indian temple architecture. So from spot number 9, you can clearly see another mandap, another structure, that is Kalyan Mandapa. Moving towards Kalyan Mandapa. And yes, there is the another Gopuram. There are 3 Gopurams in total. Now, Kalyan Mandapa. Kalyanam means wedding or marriage. And hope you all know that in South India, marriage or weddings or marriage happens in temple. Okay, there is no separate mandapa which is installed for these auspicious occasions. Temples are the auspicious places where weddings or marriage happen. So this Kalyan Mandap was a separate mandap which was installed for the same purpose. And again, here as well, on the pillars, you can see Yali sculptures. Again, Yali and Surusundaris. This type of Surusundari is known as Nartiki because she is dancing. The roof of these structures, mandapas, as well as, for example, we visited Maha Mandapa and Aman Shrine, 100 pillared hall, and even this Kalyan Mandapa. These roofs are adorned with lotus flowers. Even you can see wedging on the roof as well. So there is no cementing agent or something like that being used. Okay. So this was all about Vijay Vithala temple. Now let's move towards our next temple, that is Virupaksha temple. What we are going to do is we are just going to visit that temple for a very unique element which is found in that temple. Rest, the architectural style of that temple is very common to this Virupaksha temple only. Sorry, Vijay Vithala temple only. We are inside the temple premises. So this is Virupaksha temple. Virupaksha temple is actually much older than Vithala temple, which we saw. Virupaksha temple is from 14th century and it was again built under the patronization of Devaraya II. But it was actually built by one of the ministers of Devaraya II, whose name was Dandesha in 14th century. It is now, what is the difference between the temple which we saw earlier, that is Vithala temple? The Gopuram of that Vithala temple is completely destroyed, or it is not in that very good condition. But here the Gopuram is well preserved, or maybe there is some other story behind it, which you will get to know in the upcoming discussion. This particular temple is dedicated to Lord Shiv, and Lord Shiv is also known as Virupaksha or Pampapati. And even you will find one shrine of Pampa Devi also, consort of Virupaksha, Pampa Devi. Pampa is the name of Tungabhadra river as well. So we are not going to focus on the architecture of this particular temple. What we need to do is we'll start from here and we have to reach to this Maha Mandap. What you see, there are two Gopurams in this particular temple, one behind us, the second one is in front of us, as we can see. A little faster. Here you can see Nandi Mandap, obviously Vahan of Lord Shiva. Why we are here, why we are visiting this particular temple, there's a reason behind it. The reason is oh, okay. They're not able to reach to that middle spot. Yes. So this is the entrance gate of the Garbhagriha, and what we can see in this mandap in front of Garbhagriha is paintings, mural paintings. Obviously, with the help of natural colors, they have carved and painted some of the auspicious events connected to major deities like Lord Shiv and Vishnu. For example, if we focus on this particular part, you can see Girija Kalyana. And Girija Kalyana is the wedding of Lord Shiv and Parvati. The image or the scene at the wedding of Shiv and Parvati is being illustrated on the ceilings of this mandapa. There are so many attendants as well. You can see Lord Brahma as well as Ashtadikapals, Yaksh and Yakshnis, Gandharvas, Lord Vishnu, Goddess Lakshmi, and many other. Even Narada is also visible. Now, if we see this part, these are Ashtadikpals. Ashtadikpals are guardians of 8 directions. Ashta means 8. Dik, this particular word literally means direction. Pal are the protectors or the guardians. So Ashtadikpals are guardians of 8 directions. You will find Ishna, Nriti, Vayu, Varuna Deva, Yama, Agni also, Indradev, okay, as under these this list of Ashtadikpals. Then there is this painting of Manmatha Vijay. Manmatha Vijay is actually a story. There's a story behind this painting. So maybe you would have heard about this story that after the death of goddess Sati, Lord Shiv started meditating and he was very sad, obviously. So to get himself out from that grief, he started meditating, and it actually led to some imbalance in this world. So Sati, obviously, goddess Sati was reborn as Parvati, and now everyone was worried that Lord Shiv will be able to accept goddess Parvati, because he was in grief of the death of his wife Sati. So to accomplish this goal, Lord Indra, the king of heaven, sends Kama. Kama is Lord of love, uh, to uh, obviously accomplish this task. So in this image, what you can see is, let me just enlarge this image. It's in your guidebook as well. You can see Kama. He's standing in some on some chariot, okay, and this chariot is being driven by parrots, and behind him, his consort Rati is there. So what they are going to do is they are going to shoot an arrow of love, obviously to wake Lord Shiva from meditation. So it's quite interesting story, which is again painted and illustrated on the ceiling. So you can find many such stories and paintings. Tripurantaka. Tri means three. Pur matlab cities. Antaka, destroyer of 3 cities. So Shiva as destroying the three aerial cities belonging to the son of Tarkasur. So this is also there. Then you can see this section uh, where you can see the wedding of goddess Sita and Lord Ram as well. So this was the most interesting part of this temple, that is Virupaksha temple. Before moving forward, Sandesh will let you know the story of Krishnadevaraya, because the last temple which we are going to visit is Krishna temple. So there's a beautiful story behind that temple. So yes, Sandesh, please let us know about Krishnadevaraya and how he ascended the throne of this Vijayangara Empire. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Arti, for that detailed walk. Okay, very quick few things that we just visited Virupaksha temple, and it is the oldest temple. And the Virupaksha, is a form of Lord Shiva, and his consort is goddess Pampa, who is a form of goddess Parvati. And the Hampi, the name that we call this region, the Hampi, get from this goddess Pampa. Okay, so that is the one of the story. But why we are constantly calling it Vijayanagara, Vijayanagara, Vijayanagara? Because in this particular talk we are focusing on the political history of Vijayanagara. Okay, how these kings built this empire out of nothingness, but what happened over the periods, and it got destroyed. Okay, so to understand the glory of Vijayanagara, to say, and the downfall of Vijayanagara, we have to understand Krishnadevaraya. Okay, Krishnadevaraya is the most important character in the entire episode of Vijayanagara. I'll share the screen now. Just a minute. Yes. Screen. Okay. Can you all see the slide?
Yes, it is visible.
Yes, visible, sir.
Okay. Now let's know about the story of Krishnadevaraya, the most glorious king of the Vijayanagara Empire. So the Krishnadevaraya comes from the Tuvalu dynasty. Okay, the earlier kings, that Haryana and Bukka, were from the Sangama dynasty. The Sangama and Tuvala, these are the chieftains of this region. Yeah. So first, let's see how he got this throne. Okay, there is one very interesting story about the way Krishnadevaraya got onto the throne. The one, according to one story, it says that Krishnadevaraya had a brother. Okay, the elder brother, and that elder brother, he wanted the throne. Okay, it's like a classic classic political story. You all must have watched Bahubali. Same, the two brothers fighting for the throne. So the elder brother, with the help of mother, okay, who also wants that her elder son to be on the throne, they set up a plan to kill Krishnadevaraya. So they called their minister Timmarasu was the name of their minister, and they told him that kill Krishnadevaraya and bring two eyes of Krishnadevaraya as a proof that you have killed Krishnadevaraya. Okay, so Timmarasu goes to the Krishnadevaraya, but Timmarasu is a very intelligent person. Okay, he's very good in administration. He was a statesman, we can say. Okay, so Timmarasu told this plan to Krishnadevaraya. Okay, your mother and your elder brother wants to kill you. So Krishnadevaraya is like, why they want to kill me? I haven't caused them any trouble. So he says because you are one of the contender from the throne, and your elder brother wants this throne. And Krishnadevaraya was like very intelligent person. He's like, I don't want throne. Okay, I'm very much happy with whatever the position they will give me. I don't have any lust for power. Okay, so the Timarasu gets very impressed by this. Okay, because it is a very spiritual thought that we see that he is showing that he is not interested in the worldly pleasures of the kingdom. So Timarasu thought that this is the right person to be the king. Okay, so then they hatch another plan with the Krishna Devaraya, and वो क्या करते हैं? They bring the eyes of the goat. ओके, सो वो बकरे की दो आँख लेकर वो जाता है, तिम्मरसु जाता है टू द एल्डर ब्रदर एंड मदर हु इन द फर्स्ट प्लेस वांटेड टू किल द कृष्ण एंड टेल्स हिम दैट ओके, सी दिस आइज, आई हैव किल्ड कृष्ण देवराया. Okay, so Timarasu is clearly deceiving the mother and the elder brother. So there comes the time, okay, when the father who was the king, अब वो decide करते हैं कि who should be the next heir apparent. Okay, so elder brother is like, the Krishna Devaraya is dead, now I am the only heir apparent and I should be the king. So out of nowhere Krishna Devaraya emerges in the court. Okay, and the father got very happy and let's test who is capable to become the king. So what father does, he had a ring, okay, on his finger, and he gives he tests his two of son by saying जो भी ये ring मेरे finger से निकालेगा, whoever is able to remove this ring from my finger will be the next king. Okay, so the elder brother goes first, went first, and then he tried a lot. Okay, he did everything that is possible to remove the ring, but he failed. Okay, so the next Krishna Devaraya went, and Krishna Devaraya literally removed his dagger, okay, and cut the finger of his father. Okay, and father was very much amazed by looking at this scene, that Krishna Devaraya is very decisive king. Okay, and he is very courageous. Okay, so his father decides that Krishna Devaraya should be the king of this kingdom because he is decisive. So this story, we don't know whether this story is true or not, but this story exists. Okay, it exists. It is there in most of the books that are written about the Krishna Devaraya, and but if it doesn't matter if it's true or not, what it tells that how decisive Krishna Devaraya was. Okay, the leader should be decisive. Okay, so to explain explain that quality of the Krishna Devaraya, his story is very much popular. So later on we see the first the great victory of Krishna Devaraya is the victory over Gajapati. So the Gajapati is an arch enemy of the Vijayangara Empire, and they were trying to defeat him for many years. Okay, but they couldn't. But Krishna Deva finally defeated Gajapati. So the Gajapati was the king of Orissa. You can see in the map. Okay, so here what Krishna Devaraya does, that he brought a sculpture of Balakrishna, okay, which was situated in the temples of the Orissa. He brought that sculpture of Krishna to Hampi, to Vijayangara, and installed it, okay, and built the Krishna temple. Okay, so this Krishna temple, as even Aarti has mentioned, this Krishna temple, this is a symbol of victory. Okay, he wants to symbolize his amazing, magnificent victory over the arch enemy. So he built the temple. Okay, so the temple is the identity of Krishna Devaraya's victory. Okay, and also it is a temple, it is a sacred place, it is divine place, it is the Lord Krishna is there, these all things are there, but to the world it is the symbol of victory, of Krishna Devaraya's great victory. Okay, so now yes, Krishna Devaraya has won one of the greatest battle. Now, as you can read in the comic, that it says the Krishna Devaraya now like a tiger that has tested human blood. Okay, and if you know how once the tiger test human blood, उसको वही चाहिए होता है. Okay, so after that, Krishna Devaraya gets married to two wives. Okay, Krishna Devaraya had two wives. One was Tirumala Devi. Okay, she is from the Andhra region, and the second was Chinnamma Devi. Okay, so the Tirumala Devi was a princess of southern region. Okay, and he married Tirumala Devi for the political reasons. Okay, you must have known in the past the kings used to marry the princess of other kingdom, okay, to maintain the good alliance, or to get some territory out of her. And Chinnamma Devi was actually courtesan in court of Krishnadevaraya. Okay, or Krishnadevaraya fell in love with the Chinnamma Devi and he decides to marry her. So there is one beautiful sculpture of Krishnadevaraya himself with the two wives. That sculpture is located in the Tirupati temple today. Okay, if you ever visited the Tirupati temple, you might see there. Okay, and on the two sides of Krishna there are two wives. The one is Tirumala, of course, and the other is Chinnamadevi. Okay, now the interesting thing is Krishna Devaraya could have ignored Chinnamadevi. Okay, he did not. He needed not to marry her. Okay, he could have just had extramarital affairs. Nobody would have questioned him why, what he's doing, why he's doing that. But he decided to give the equal status to that Chinnamma Devi as well, though she did not belong to royal blood. Okay, so this is one of the interesting story of the Krishna Devaraya. And then after that, Krishnadevaraya already had defeated Bahamani sultans. Know the story, because Bahamani sultans was the one big the kingdom in the earlier times. But after Krishnadevaraya and Vijayangara emperors frequently attacking the place, that place got weakened and it got वो पांच किंगडम्स में वो कन्वर्टेड हो गए, फ्रैगमेंटेड इनटू द 5 किंगडम. Yes. So Krishnadevaraya again attacked too many times the Gulbarga and the Vijayangara. So from that period, there was the king, the Adil Khan. Okay, so the Adil Khan tells that कि हमारे टेरिटरीज अभी वापस दे दो and we accept your sovereignty. Okay, so they are ready to accept the sovereignty and you are the greater king and we will be your feudatories. That's what Adil Khan says via his ambassador, when he sent his ambassador to the Krishnadevaraya. So Krishnadevaraya literally tells this to ambassador that ask your sultan to kiss my foot and I will give back all the territories and all men that I have confiscated. Okay, now this ambassador went to Adil Khan and he said ki, this is what Krishnadevaraya is saying, he is asking you to kiss his foot. Okay, and Adil Khan was like, I am ready to kiss the foot but I cannot come to your kingdom. Okay, I am very scared of it. So Krishnadevaraya is like, okay, let me come to your place. Okay, so Krishnadevaraya takes entire his army, millions of army, and march over the Bijapur kingdom. Okay, and there from that Adil Khan भाग जाता है वहाँ से. Okay, and now Krishnadevaraya is very angry. Okay, now all the army that he has brought with him, he literally destroyed the Bijaypur, Vijayangara, or the Gulbarga districts and all those places. Okay, and here is one of the interesting verses from the poem that written by Amyukta Malyada. This poem was written by Krishnadevaraya himself in the Telugu. Okay, and in this poem Krishnadevaraya has written this: I, Krishnaraya, Lord of the earth, gave true meaning to the name of Kembavi in the language of Andhra, for the water tanks here are crimson red, filled with blood of Yavanas. Okay, so the Kembavi ka meaning in Telugu hota hai ki red. Okay, so he tells that I have given true meaning to the Kembavi by turning turning everything into the red, by killing by the bloods of Yavana, by killing all the Yavanas. So the Yavanas here are the for Muslims they use this word Yavanas. And so after this huge defeat, it was actually turning point, okay, for the history of Deccan. What happens at this point? All the Deccan sultans who were fragmented into the 5 different kingdoms sit and decide, okay, if we want to survive, we have to come together, okay, to defeat Vijayangara. Only if we are united, then only we can defeat Vijayangara. Okay, so whatever the annihilation that Krishnadevaraya has caused on the Gulbarga, resulted into the unification of the Bahamani sultans. Okay, and of course this moves of Krishnadevaraya was coming out of excessive pride. Krishnadevaraya was getting उसको बहुत गर्व हो रहा था अपनी power का, अपने empire का, and out of that self ego, excessive ego, he literally crossed the boundaries. Okay, this entire episode resulted into the unification of Bahamani sultans. So these are the 4 sultans that were united after their defeat, after the annihilation caused by the Krishnadevaraya. Of course, Hussein Nizam Shah was the main factor who literally called everybody and say, okay, let's unite and defeat Vijayanagara Empire. And then happens the Battle of Talikota that we all know. Over the period, Krishnadevaraya dies. Okay, and his successor were not as capable as Krishnadevaraya. Okay, and because of weak ruler and because of this humiliation caused by Krishnadevaraya, they were feeling with too much rage. Okay, they had too much anger, and they literally brought everything out when they invaded Vijayanagara Empire, and they destroyed as many sculptures or the temples they can see. But here is the interesting thing. Okay. Uh, yeah. So here is the interesting thing. You guys have seen two temples till now. Okay, one was the Vijay Vithala temple, and the other was Virupaksha temple. Okay, I will show you one image again. Okay, can you all see the image? Hello,
No.
you can't?
Uh,
Not yet.
Can you now?
No. No.
Oh, what's wrong with
Okay.
this? Just give me a second. Yeah, can you see now?
Oh yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Visual, sir.
Okay.
Yes, visual, sir.
Okay. Now you are seeing the three temples here. Okay, these are the three most important temples. If you ever visit, must visit three temples first. Okay, so first, as we have seen Vijay Thala, the second was Virupaksha, and the next that Aarti will tell you about the Krishna temple. Okay, can you see any pattern here or anything unusual? Hello, anybody?
The middle one is well erected while the other two are destroyed.
Yeah, right. That is the point I want you to notice. Okay, so one of the reason that when I observed this first time, it just came out of nothing. I thought, why these two temples are destroyed and why not Virupaksha temple? Okay, which is whose gopuram is quite bigger than the other one. Okay, and which actually represent the wealth and power of the Vijayanagara Empire. But then why they specifically targeted Vijay Vithala and the Krishna temple? Okay, so the reason, and it was written by recent one historian as well, that the reason was the Bahmani sultans targeted only the monuments of Krishna Devaraya. Okay, the Vijay Vithala temple, most of the additions were done by Krishna Devaraya. The Krishna temple, it was a symbol of Krishna Devaraya's victory. Krishna Devaraya had built it for the next generation, for upcoming generations, to tell how glorious, how magnificent his empire was. Okay, and Bahmani sultans, we can say, wanted to destroy the identity of the Krishna Devaraya. It was out of pure political reasons they destroyed these two temples. Okay, as Aarti have said, in the South India, temples were not only the religious institutions. There were many other aspects it has. Okay, it had a Kalyana Mandapa. The marriages used to happen there. It was a educational center. It was the center of wealth. Okay, the economics, the center of the economics was those temples. Okay, so to destroy them, the very identity of Krishna. Imagine, अगर वो नहीं उसको तोड़ते. Okay, how today's generation will look at the Vijayanagara, and how they'll say, oh, wow, what a great Krishna Devaraya was. He had built such a magnificent temples. Okay, now he had built it, but there is twist now. Now they are destroyed as well. And why only those structures are destroyed? And so it tells though Krishna Devaraya was great king, okay, he was able administrator, but when the pride went into his head, okay, he crossed the boundaries. He asked one of the sultans to kiss his foot, which literally crossed the boundaries, and he destroyed the Gulbarga. Gulbarga was the center of Bahmani Sultan. Gulbarga was the region where Bahmani Sultan got, from where Bahmani Sultans got rose. Okay, and he destroyed the very center. So to remove all the rage against the Krishnadevaraya, they specifically target. Okay, so the Hampi ka jo destruction hai, it has a pattern. If you ever visit, you will see this. Okay, you will see the Virupaksha temple has a, it's quite big temple, and not a single scratch you will see on the Virupaksha temple. Anything if it had happened, it is because it is old and over the period because of rain and other environmental factors, but not a single human scratch you can see on the Virupaksha temple. And it is by far one of the most beautiful temples you will visit, but no scratch. But on the other hand, Vijay Vithala and Krishna was totally destroyed, totally means totally. So these are the subjective narrative of the Vijayanagar Empire. Whenever you will visit that site, you will understand what exactly it is saying. Okay, so yes. So I'm done with the Krishna Devaraya story now. I can go till the night, but I should stop now. And Arti will conclude this session. The Krishna temple. We'll see this glimpse of Krishna temple.
I hope it is visible.
Yes, visible, clearly visible.
Okay, thank you. Yes. So we are just going to see some of the glimpses of Krishna temple. Okay, the point is there's a ruler who is popular for his liberal ideas. We can see how he pays respect to both of his wives. One is Chinnamma Devi, who is a classical dancer. And there's an interesting fact about those musical pillars which we saw in the Mahamandapa, that it is said that it is very much possible that those musical pillars of that or that Mahamandapa was actually constructed because of the influence of Chinnamma Devi, as she herself was a classical dancer, very much connected to music and dance. So a ruler uh, who is well versed with Telugu language, Kannada language, a great writer, a great administrator, but secondly, one thing which actually led to the destruction of Vijayanagar Empire was his pride about whatever he was gaining at the time, whatever he was trying to capture at the time. So वो एक चीज जो है उसने विजयनगर एम्पायर को डिस्ट्रॉय किया. And this temple, the same temple, which was actually built for the commemoration of the victory over Gajapatis, narrates the destruction of this Vijayanagar Empire as well. So this is the Gopuram of Krishna temple, which is under maintenance, as we can see. And here comes the main shrine. Google isn't allowing us to enter into this main shrine. Whatever we can see is from outside only. This is the main shrine, and there was this sculpture which was enshrined in the Garbhagriha or the central sanctum of the shrine. But right now it is not there. It is in one of the museums in Chennai. And it is the sculpture of Lord Krishna. And it is said that this is the same sculpture which Krishnadevaraya actually got from Odisha. So this is how they used to commemorate their victory. That yes, I captured Odisha or I destroyed Gajapatis. He just got that sculpture and installed it in this temple. The pattern or the architectural style of this temple is again similar to what we saw in Virupaksha temple as well as in Vijay Vithala temple as well. We can see Mahamandapa, and there is this Antaral portion. Antaral part is basically that gap area between Mandapa and Garbhagriha. worshippers are not allowed to cross this gap or antaral portion. They were never allowed to enter in the garbhagriha. Priests were the one who were used to enter in that central center to worship on behalf of the visitors and worshippers. These are verandas, pavilions, colonnaded but incomplete. And here comes the shikhara. This particular element here on the top of the shikhara or the crowning element is in bolted style, and it is quite common crowning element on the gopurams. What they have done is they have installed that the same element found on gopurams on the shikhar as well. The shikhar is again adorned with Surasundaris along with the sculptures of Lord Vishnu and his incarnations. And we can see niches again for lighting lamps. This particular temple is also having some small subsidiary shrines around it. And this style is known as Panchayatan style. Panchayatan style means there are 5 shrines. One of them is the main shrine in the center, and 4 shrines in the temple premises itself. So there are 4 subsidiary shrines, these small little shrines. As this temple is dedicated to Lord Krishna, so these subsidiary shrines were again connected to Lord Vishnu only, his incarnations only. Most of the elements are very, very common. For example, the yalis, you can see yalis, temples as well. That is it. This is Krishna temple, built to show the wealth, the glory, the victory of Krishnadevaraya, but again, it also narrates the destruction of the same empire. Am I audible?
Yes, yes,
Huh. Sandesh, you can.
yes. So, yeah, here we are now concluding this session with the note that we also mentioned in the pamphlet that we shared a few days ago. If we want to sum up, okay, the story of Vijayangara Empire, we can say that if a person, okay, is with have a very clear vision, okay, selfless vision, what that person can achieve, okay. And the Harihara and Bukka and Krishnadevaraya, the other Devarayas have not to, have told us through these magnificent sculptures what they could achieve when the vision was clear, okay. But when it got blurred by the ego, but with the self pride, okay, what we can lose with that, okay. And it is a very human story, okay. That's why we wanted to tell this story. It is nothing about beyond the world story. It is not the stories of gods and goddesses. It is a very human story, okay. It is very related to us, all the virtues that we are learning from the childhood, that be good person, have a clear vision, don't be over pride on yourself, don't grudge against anybody, don't cross the boundaries, okay. And Krishnadevaraya, though he was a great person, I personally admired him for his, he was the man of justice, okay. He built irrigation system, he literally built a civilization, Hampi called a civilization, okay. But after some point he couldn't control the power, and the power went into his head, and that caused the destruction of Vijayanagar. The very seed of the destruction was sown by Krishnadevaraya, but he wasn't there to see the destruction. His successor couldn't continue it, and here we are with the ruins of Hampi. So, and as I said in the pamphlet itself, that there is a lesson from this story, okay, and whether we learn from it or ignore it, that is a different question, but this is the story need to be told and need to be heard. So here we have told this story. I hope you all have enjoyed this and felt it personal story, and whenever you will visit the Vijayangara, you will carry whatever we have said in this lecture, and you will enjoy your walk, the physical walk around the or let's say Humpies. Okay, so yeah, now we are now open for the questions. I can see there are a few questions, and so anybody wants to ask question directly, they can, or they can write it. Uh, okay, Shibam Bosle, that's fine. You can conceive however you want, and we don't have any agenda. We want to tell a story. We are not big people. We are very small people. Agendas are for the politicians and great people. Okay. Any question directly? We have two participants from out of India actually. Al Rio and Alice is there from Philippines. And Alice wanted to visit this site, but because of pandemic she couldn't. And I hope they have enjoyed this session. And whenever they'll plan next time, they will get this perspective as well. So, any questions? Okay, but let's beautiful session. Okay. 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 Can we all come on the screen? We'll take a good photo and sum up today's session. Arti, can you take?
It,
Yes. So yes, thank you so much for attending session, and I know it has got extended to the 6:30, and I'm really glad that you all stayed till the end and listened what we wanted to tell. This is just a story that we wanted to tell for a long time, and thank you so much for this opportunity. Thank you so much.
any takeaway,
Yeah, any feedbacks?
any
Anything?
idea?
Yeah.
Basically, the story was about Hampi is not just about dunes. There is something beyond that as well.
Yeah, and this is just a one aspect of Vijayanagar Empire. There are many. The place is very much alive in terms of mythology and the stories. But we didn't focus on that. We wanted to tell the story of empire, so that's why we chose this aspect. Yes, Taj Mahal and Agra food. The next session will be on Ellora,
Art Deco.
Ellora, Kailasha temple.
And there is one heritage walk, upcoming heritage walk on Art Deco as well.
Yeah,
You all can join if you are in Mumbai.
yeah. Mumbai people can join in Art Deco Heritage Walk around the Marine Drive. It is one of the most beautiful ensembles of buildings that you can see around Marine Drive and Oval Maidan region. And we are conducting it on 30th July. If any one of you in Mumbai, please do attend it. I'll be there, and another member of the Sthapatya Samvad. She will actually tell you the story of Art Deco in Mumbai. So yeah, that's all. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. अभी मैं सोने वाला हूँ.
मुझे हमेशा ऐसा लगता है कि क्या हम वो मैसेज दे पाएंगे बट एट द एंड वो जो चीज हमें स्थापत्य का जो थीम है उस पर हमारा कुछ ना कुछ डिस्कशन होता है और
Yeah.
तूने वो पार्ट किया मुझे बहुत सुन के बहुत अच्छा लगा.
No, because मैं बार बार वो रिमाइंड करता हूँ, इवन ड्यूरिंग द सेशन कि ये बताना है, ये बताना है, ये बताना है, एंड देन वो एक मोमेंट आता है एंड दैट इज ओके, दिस इज द मोमेंट आई हैव टू टेल इट नाउ, एंड वो हो जाता है. इट्स गुड, इट्स गुड.
वो बंदा इसीलिए ही आया था कि वो लास्ट में कत्ता करे और उसको इग्नोर करना बहुत, आगे से उसका पैसा उससे नहीं लेने का है. बिल्कुल नहीं लेना है.
नो, इट्स मैं इग्नोर कर ही रहा था, स्टार्टिंग से इग्नोर कर रहा था मैं, बट
वो
उसका
पहले भी लिखा है क्या उसने कुछ?
नहीं, पहले नहीं. वो बड़ा सा मैसेज डाला ना उसने, उसके बाद उसने और एक वो बोला कि यू आर नॉट रिप्लाइंग टू माई क्वेश्चन. तो
हाँ, मैंने तभी देख के मुझे लगा ये
मुझे
देखेगा और ये आंसर
हाँ, मुझे तब लगा कि ओके, तब मुझे लगा कि थोड़ा बताना चाहिए, बिकॉज आई एम लुकिंग एट हिम एज अ पार्टिसिपेंट पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू व्हेन ही सेड कि यू आर नॉट रिप्लाइंग माई क्वेश्चन. आई वेंट इन टू डिफरेंट जोन. सो बट तुम्हारा मैसेज पढ़ा, लेकिन लेट्स स्टॉप हियर नाउ. थैंक यू. अदरवाइज आई वुड हैव गॉन देयर.
नहीं, क्योंकि उसने तो पता नहीं शायद कब से तैयारी की होगी कि मुझे क्या करना.
सुना भी नहीं कि पता नहीं, वो तैयारी था वो मैसेज भेजने के लिए और उसने भेज दिया.
ओके, अमर चित्र कथा के बेस पे तुम ऐसे, अरे अमर चित्र कथा का हिस्ट्री पता है क्या? वो नहीं हमको पता है अमर चित्र कथा क्या चीज है क्या नहीं. बोल रहे कॉमिक बुक के बेस पे कुछ भी बोल रहे.
और अमर चित्रगाथा तो मैंने आज पहली बार पढ़ा ही है भाई. स्टोरी तो उसके पहले से तैयार थी. No, it's not based on अमर चित्रकथा. और एक इवेंट हो गया.
हाँ,
It's great, it's great, it's great. क्या बोल रहा था मैं? हाँ,
थोड़ा जल्दी मेरा 7 बजे क्लास.
सॉरी 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 सॉरी. ये बोल रहा था मैं कि प्रद्युम्न से थोड़ी बात हो रही थी. ओके, ही इज़ इंटरेस्टेड इन टेकिंग अ ट्रिप टू हम्पी अराउंड नवंबर दिसंबर. ओके, तो देखते हैं कि कैसे वर्कआउट होता है ये. ओके, बाय नवंबर आई थिंक मुझे भी थोड़ा क्लैरिटी मिल जाएंगी मेरे काम की. एंड एनी हाउ आई हैव 25 हॉलीडेज अ ईयर दैट आई कैन यूज़. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, दो इवेंट है, वो इसका पोस्टर का ख़त्म कर दो जल्द से जल्द. वो हम
और आर्ट वर्कशॉप होगा कि नहीं?
हाँ, वर्कशॉप. सी देख, तू कभी पंजाब मेल से गई है मुंबई टू दिल्ली?
नहीं.
हाँ, तो कौन सी ट्रेन से? राजधानी से गई है सिर्फ? हाँ, ठीक है. तो पंजाब मेल एक ट्रेन होती है. ओके, तो अगर तुम पंजाब मेल में बैठती हो आज शाम को, तो यू कैनॉट एक्सपेक्ट कि हम कल सुबह दिल्ली पहुंच जाएंगे. तो हमारी स्पीड कम है एंड वी कैनॉट एक्सपेक्ट कि 3 इवेंट हो पाए फॉर ऑल द पॉसिबल रीजंस. बट थोड़ा थोड़ा बढ़ाएंगे. तुम भी ओवरलोड मत करो. ऐसा ना हो जाए कि ब्रेकिंग पॉइंट तक पहुंच जाओ और बाद में कौन संदेश ये सब कर दो. बट करते जब भी तुम्हें लगे कि अभी हम स्टेप अप कर सकते हैं, अभी थोड़ी एनर्जी बढ़ाने का.
हाँ, द पॉइंट इज कि अभी आज 10 थी ना, एंड अब हमारा नेक्स्ट इवेंट इज ऑन 30th.
या
तो अभी अगर तूने लगातार 8 डेकों पे पोस्ट किया
नहीं करूँगा मैं, नहीं करूँगा.
हाँ, तो इसीलिए एटलीस्ट इस मंथ नहीं, बट एटलीस्ट आर्ट डेको के बाद कुछ ऐसी हमें इवेंट नेक्स्ट मंथ के लिए इसी मंथ में वो पोस्टर जाना चाहिए वो वाली चीज़।
नहीं, इसी मन नहीं, हम प्लान कर सकते हैं कि आर्ट वर्कशॉप करने सी कैसे होगा पता है कि ना, एक डिस्कशन का ये शुरू होना चाहिए विद द आर्टिस्ट। ऐसे नहीं होगा कि एक आर्टिस्ट से बात किया और हो गया सेशन। कुछ कॉम्प्लिकेशंस आएगी, वो आर्टिस्ट कैंसिल होगा, नया ढूंढना होगा। तो वी हैव टू कीप द मीटिंग राउंड्स विद द मेनी आर्टिस्ट, जिस आउट ऑफ विच एक दो का हो जाए। ओके, तो ये चीज़ है। अभी मुझे ये लगता है, अभी कौन सा डे, संडे है। ओके, अभी लेट्स फोकस फॉर नेक्स्ट 2-3 days ऑन द आर्ट डे को। ओके, एंड उसके बाद ओके, तुम्हें अगर लगता है कि वी कैन टाइम निकाल सकते हैं हम आर्ट वर्कशॉप के लिए, एटलीस्ट टू स्टार्ट टॉकिंग विद द आर्टिस्ट, देन यू लेट मी नो।
ठीक है।
ओके, बट उससे पहले दो इम्पॉर्टेंट चीज़ें हैं। एक तो आर्ट डेको का पोस्टर जाना चाहिए।
चलाऊंगी। लाइट आने के बाद सब चला लो।
तो हाँ, मैं वही बोल रहा था कि आर्ट डेको का होना चाहिए पोस्टर कल, और हमारे इंटर्न्स का, वी आर हायरिंग का पोस्ट जाना चाहिए। ओके,
ठीक है।
ये दो जाने के बाद अगर तुम्हें लगता है कि टाइम है, एनर्जी है, देन वी कैन स्टार्ट डिस्कसिंग ऑन द आर्ट वर्कशॉप। ओके,
ठीक है।
चलो, लेट्स होप कि ये रिकॉर्ड हो गया है। मुझे पता नहीं, पहले बार मैंने रिकॉर्ड किया है।
मैं आज ज्वाइन करने में लेट हो गई थी 10-15